So someone asked me to do a video on the fear of being too sexy. Not really a concern for me, as my son has asked me to again participate in No Shave November, and the beard is looking a bit more like December. But this is actually a serious issue. And go ahead and be tapping to begin with. This fear of being too sexy, being too attractive, and it could be being too rich or successful, whatever it might be. It's similar to the video I did recently on the fear of being seen. The fear of anything that would put us in a position to attract attention that we're afraid we couldn't handle. In fact, I was working with a woman years ago on her weight loss issues. And when we're doing tapping, it's often like peeling the layers of an onion. And we create this opening for us to get greater insight into what's bothering us. And while we're tapping, suddenly it hit her. I know I can't allow myself to lose weight. I'm afraid that if I lost weight, I'd be more attractive, and men would hit on me, and I'd be unfaithful to my husband, or at least tempted to be unfaithful. And so once she was clear on that, she could realize that's not a good reason to hang on to this. I can find better ways to make my marriage work. So we have all these kinds of reasons about why it wouldn't be safe or okay for us to be more of anything. So we'll use the term sexy, and you can replace it with any word of whatever you're afraid of being too this or that. All right? So taking full responsibility for your own well-being. Even though I'm afraid of being too sexy, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I'm afraid of being too sexy, I choose to love and honor myself anyway. Even though I'm afraid of being too sexy, I'm afraid of being too attractive, because I'm afraid of what I would attract. And I'm afraid I couldn't handle that. And even though I'm afraid of being too sexy, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself and anyone else who has contributed to this fear. All this fear of being too sexy. All this fear of being too sexy. All this fear of being too attractive. All this fear of more attention. All this fear of attention from the wrong people. There are a lot of things I'm afraid of being too much of. For fear of the attention I would get. If I'm too rich, I'll get too much attention from the IRS. All this fear of being too attractive. All this fear of being too sexy. All this fear of getting more attention. And maybe there have been times in the past that I've gotten attention from the wrong people. And that caused me a lot of problems. And so I tried to hide myself away. If I put myself out there in the world and try to be open to great opportunities, I run the risk of opening myself up to other opportunities that are not so great. All this fear that I couldn't handle those. All this fear that I wouldn't have a choice. All this fear that I wouldn't be strong enough. All this need to cover up my sexiness. And I'm clearing this fear. Because the world deserves the real me. And the real me is pretty darn sexy. And it's really no use trying to cover it up. I'm just allowing myself to be stronger. And allowing myself to be more clear. About why and how I use my sexiness. I may have gone a little crazy in the past. And misused my gifts. Maybe I was trying too hard to get attention. And was sharing something that wasn't the real me. Because the real me attracts the right kind of attention. And the real me is very sexy. In different meanings of that word. And I choose to be more comfortable with that. I choose to share the real me. I'm attracting the right kind of attention. And I'm trusting myself to handle what shows up. Clearing the self-doubt. All that self-doubt that gets in my way. I'm opening myself up to really share myself. And be the best of who I am. In body, mind, and spirit. And take a deep breath. And go out and please share the best of who you are, the real you with the world. You sexy beast, you.